On a moonlit night, deep in the American wilderness, the sound of galloping hooves thunders through the trees. A rider emerges from the shadows, but something is missing. For centuries, people have whispered about the Headless Horseman, a terrifying figure who stalks the night, seeking vengeance and striking fear into anyone unlucky enough to cross his path. But is this just a story, or could the legend of the Headless Horseman have roots in chilling reality? Tonight, we dive deep into the terrifying legend of the Headless Horseman, true or fiction. Origins of the legend. The story of a headless rider is older than America itself. In fact, variations of the Headless Horseman can be found across Europe, dating back centuries. In Ireland, there was the Dullahan, a terrifying, headless figure said to carry his own skull, using it like a lantern to search for his victims. In Germany, tales tell of a headless huntsman, cursed to ride the forests until Judgment Day. These legends often share a common theme: a violent death, an unburied body, or a spirit that cannot rest. But it was in the early days of America where this legend would take its most famous form, thanks to a story you've likely heard before. Washington Irving's Tale. In 1820, American author Washington Irving published The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. His short story told of a timid schoolteacher, Ichabod Crane, who falls victim to the terrifying Headless Horseman in a small village in New York. But while Irving's tale popularized the legend, he didn't invent it. Instead, he borrowed from existing folklore and blended it with local ghost stories from the Hudson Valley. And here's the chilling part. Some say the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow was inspired by real events. The real Headless Horseman? During the Revolutionary War, near Sleepy Hollow, Hessian mercenaries fought alongside the British. These German soldiers were infamous for their brutality and for a certain terrifying tale. According to legend, one Hessian soldier was decapitated by a cannonball during battle. His body was buried in an unmarked grave, but his head was never recovered. Locals claimed that ever since, his spirit rose from the battlefield, searching for his missing head. Could this gruesome event be the origin of Irving's Horseman? Encounters and sightings. For over 2 centuries, people in Sleepy Hollow have claimed to encounter the Headless Horseman. Some describe a dark rider cloaked in shadow, appearing at midnight before vanishing into thin air. Others say they've heard hoofbeats on deserted roads, only to find no trace of a horse. In some versions, the horseman chases victims until they cross a bridge, where he suddenly disappears. Are these sightings just the product of imagination, fueled by the story, or could they be something more? Paranormal researchers believe such recurring encounters suggest something real, something ancient, that manifests again and again across cultures. Symbolism and fear. The Headless Horseman is more than just a ghost story. He represents the terror of unfinished business, of restless souls who cannot find peace. The missing head symbolizes a loss of identity, a spirit stripped of humanity. In folklore, headless beings often serve as omens of death, warning those who see them that their time may be near. And your next, global variations. But the horseman is not limited to Sleepy Hollow. In Ireland, the Dullahan would ride a black horse, using a human spine as a whip. In Germany, the Headless Huntsman punishes those who trespass in the forest. In South America, the mulatto Sin Cabeza, a headless rider, haunts rural towns. How could so many cultures invent the same terrifying figure independently? Could it be coincidence, or do these legends hint at a deeper truth about the afterlife? True or fiction? So what is the truth? Is the Headless Horseman a tale spun to scare children, or does it have roots in reality? The truth may lie somewhere in between, a gruesome battlefield death, local ghost stories, and old-world folklore all merged into a legend that refuses to die. Whether spirit, demon, or myth, the Headless Horseman continues to ride through our nightmares, reminding us of the thin veil between the living and the dead. So next time you find yourself walking alone at night, you hear the sound of hooves behind you, don't look back. Because if you do, you might see a dark rider approaching fast, and if he catches you, you may never be seen again. This has been the legend of the Headless Horseman, true or fiction. Until next time, sleep with one eye open. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more uploads.